Hello, welcome to the Searchlight podcast. We are talking about a tale of wickedness in today's episode. In the quiet village of Papari, located between green hills and thick forests, a shadow lived as a respected businessman with a heart full of greed and cruelty. He is known as Benoraz. Benoraz used his power with deliberate malice from the start. He was not satisfied with only profit. His obsessed desire for wealth pushed him to influence the entire structure of the village's economy. Market prices were merely puppets in his game, controlled to his advantage. With a honeyed tongue, he fooled ignorant villagers into selling their commodities for a fraction of their value, promising fair returns that never materialized. He took pleasure in their ignorance, and instead loaded his pockets with the produce of their effort. But Benoraz's wickedness had no bounds. He preyed on the villagers' confidence, constructing elaborate webs of deception to trap them in his plans. He ensnared the poor and helpless by offering loans with excessive interest rates, knowing full well that they would never be able to repay the debt he had imposed on them. When they eventually failed to meet his demands, he took their lands and properties, enriching himself while pushing families to despair. Furthermore, Benoraz's desire for dominance went beyond only financial gain. He used bribery and corruption to gain control of all of the village's resources. To satisfy his desperate need for domination, he faked land records, paid off officials, and illegally grabbed precious plots. In his desire for supremacy, he violated the villagers' rights and traditions, leaving them homeless and powerless. As Benoraz's grip tightened, so did the voices of disapproval. Weary of his rule, the people began to speak quietly, exchanging accounts of his deception and abuse. Beneath the surface, a silent rebellion developed, driven by a burning desire for justice and vengeance. One fateful evening, while Benoraz was relaxing in his lavish house, the storm he had nurtured finally struck. The people, driven by despair and righteous rage, gathered at his gates, their eyes shining with purpose and their hearts bursting with vengeance. They initiated a furious attack on their oppressor's fortress. Benoraz, cornered and outnumbered, was forced to face the consequences of his wickedness. His wealth and power fell like sandcastles in the face of the people's rage. In his final moments, as the walls of his home closed in on him, he was forced to confront the depths of his crimes. Benoraz realized his mistake too late. The prophecy had come to pass. The wicked are doomed by their own violence. In a sad twist of fate, the power and wealth he had brutally achieved had become a curse on him. A fresh day dawned in the village of Papari. Despite the scars of the past, the people stood united, their spirits unbroken by the hardships they had endured. Benoraz's palace stood as an empty monument to the folly of exceeding ambition, a harsh reminder of the costs of greed and power. Greed and cruelty lead to destruction. Benoraz's pursuit of wealth harmed the villagers. In the end, justice prevails, and his downfall serves as a cautionary tale. As we wrap up this episode, always remember the wicked are doomed by their own violence.